Present, miss.
Ajmina,
Present, Miss.
Amaya,
Present, Miss.
Atulya, Drishya,
Present, miss.
Jyotish, Karthik,
Present, Miss.
Kavya,
Present, Miss.
Nachiketas,
Present, miss.
Neeraj, Rangeet, Vaishna, Vaishnav,
Present, miss.
Anjali, and Shruti. Atulya is there.
Yes, Miss.
Atulya.
Yes, Miss.
Jyotish,
Present.
Neeraj, Rangeet, Vaishna, Anjali.
Present.
Okay, let's start our class. So last class we were just discussing about the one of the unicast routing protocol, that is intra-domain routing protocol, or the algorithm called the distance vector routing algorithm. I hope you have got a clear picture of distance vector algorithm and also how to solve a problem based on that. Now today we will be seeing about the other type of intra-domain routing algorithm called the link state routing algorithm. Very, very important. You have to learn how that algorithm works. So link state routing algorithm. Now what is this? Actually, it is a process by which, link state routing is a process by which each router shares its knowledge about its neighborhood with every router in the area. When you are comparing distance vector as well as the link state, there is a change. See, distance vector, you are sharing information only to their neighbors, right? But here you are sharing the knowledge to the entire nodes who are is present, or the entire routers who are is present in that network. Okay, now suppose consider the network that is shown on the slide. Suppose you are having a host A and you are having a host B. Now you want to reach your destination from A to B. If you want to reach your destination, maybe you have to pass through many networks. Now these networks, they are connected by routers. Okay, so here you can see three different networks and two different routers in order to deliver the packet from host A to host B. Now, what is the objective of this link state routing is you have to find the least cost path from a node. Node can also be called it as a router when a packet is transmitted from source to destination. The main aim is you have to find the least cost path from your source host to the destination host. Now, in the second figure, what it has been shown is I have told each router is denoted as nodes, right? So, routers will be connecting many individual networks, and these routers are denoted by nodes here. Okay, so in the right hand side, you can see three different nodes A, B, C. They are nothing but the routers, and in between the routers, you have some numerical values. And that is nothing but the link of the link, or you can call link cost, or you can tell that what is the distance it covers. Okay, so what I told is each router you are representing it as a node, and you have a metric in between the nodes, and that is nothing but the cost matrix. Now, in the lower diagram, you can just see a network system where you have many routers and where many networks are connected. So this is a LAN, this is a router. So the cross mark, it indicates the routers, and like it is a box type, it denotes the networks. So this is actually a network. This is the layout of a network system. Right now, if I am drawing the weighted graph of such a network, the right hand side shows that. So if I'm, this is router, I have told router, you will be denoting it with different nodes, and the connect link, you are denoting it with the cost. Okay, so you have the weighted graph. You will be having the weighted graph corresponding to your network system. Okay, now what is this link state algorithm? Now, initially, what you have to do is you have to undergo 4 set of actions in this link state routing algorithm. If you want to build your routing table for each routers, what you have to do is you have to create a routing table. So in order to create that routing table, you have to undergo 4 different actions. Now, what are those actions? The first one is creation of the states of the link by each node. You can call it as the link state packet. The first one is you have to form or create a link state packet. I will be telling what is a link state packet. Now, second one is you have to disseminate this link state packets to every router. Every other router which is present in the network, you have to disseminate that link state packet. And that process is called it as flooding. Okay, very, very important. That process is called it as flooding. Right now, once the flooding is done, what is the next thing is you have to find the shortest path tree for each node. Now, finally, based on the shortest path tree, you have to form a routing table. So these are the steps that are happening in a link state algorithm. Initially, you have to create your LSP packet. Second one, the flooding process takes place. Third one is shortest path tree you have to find out. And finally, you have to form the routing table. So in a cumulative way, you can tell 2 phases are present in this link state routing. One is the phase 1, you can call it as flooding. Now, flooding, you can have 2 states. You have initial state and you will be having final state. Now, initial state at the beginning of doing the flooding process, each node knows the cost to its neighbors only, right? Once the initial state, at the initial state of flooding, what each node knows is, they knows only the cost to its neighbors. Now, once the final state is being reached, each node knows about the entire graph. Okay, so flooding, 2 stages, initial stage and the final stage. Now, the second phase is nothing but the route calculation. So what I have told is using you have to find the shortest path tree for each node. And that is based on an algorithm called Dijkstra's algorithm. Very, very important. So each node, they make use of this Dijkstra's algorithm in order to calculate the optimal route to all the nodes. Okay, and you have to frame the routing table. Understood? What are the 4 actions that are there that you have to be done to create a routing table in link state algorithm? Yes or no? Yes, answer me.
Yes, miss.
Yes, okay. So what is the thing? What I have told is you have to create 4 actions. You have to do it. Initially, you have to create your LSP packet. Now, what is that LSP packet? See, I have taken a network here where routers and the links are being shown. Okay, so what is LSP packet is, see, when I am considering a router A, now its neighbors are, I have told, you knows only the cost of the neighbors at the initial state. So the cost to node B will be equal to 2 and cost to node D will be equal to 3. If I am considering router A, the immediate neighbors of A are B and C. And I have written the cost of this. See, you can see B is equal to 2 and D is equal to 3. And I don't have a direct path to all other nodes. So what I will be doing is I'll be putting it as infinity. Okay. Now, second one, similarly for B. B, which are the neighbors, immediate neighbors, adjacent nodes are C and E. So you are writing the cost on the table, and the other cost will be equal to infinity. So similarly, you have to create your link state packet or the database based on for all the nodes. So the final link state database will look like this. So you have nodes A, B, C, D, E, F, and you have written whichever is having the adjacent nodes, the cost you have written, and the other nodes you are making it as infinity. Okay, so this is the actual process that is being taking place in order to create a link state database. Now, usually, other than that, you will be having some large amount of information also in your LSP packet. The first one is if you want to identify the nodes, the first you will have a node identity field. You will have the list of links field, a sequence number, and age. Okay, now the first two fields, that is the node identity and the list of the links, they are needed to make the topology. I want to know who are my immediate neighbors or who are my neighbor nodes. What is the cost of each link? So that is required. I should know the topology of the network. In order to know that, I need the first two things. Okay, now the third one is the sequence number and the age. Sequence number means if you want to distinguish your new LSP packet from the old ones, sequence number is required. Okay, now the fourth field is age. Now what is the importance is it prevents the old LSPs from remaining in the domain for a long time. Okay, so if you don't want to remain some old LSPs to remain in that network or in the domain, so you want to specify the age of that. Okay, so these are the information that is present in a link state packet. Okay, now LSPs are generated on two occasions. Like distance vector algorithm, there I have told two types of updates are possible. One is the periodic update and the other one is triggered update. Similarly, you can have the updates here also. Okay, now the first one, if you have a change in the topology of the domain, that is called it as the triggering update. Triggering takes place. You want to quickly inform all other nodes if anything happens for a particular node. Right? Now, the second one is the periodic update. So periodic update in distance vector, I have told for every 30 seconds, they will be sending the periodic updates. But here you will have a time set from range from 60 minutes to 2 hours. It is based on the implementation. It is based on the protocol, what you are using it. Okay, so LSPs, they are generated on two occasions. One is if there is a change in the topology, and the other one is the periodic updates. Okay, so that is the first process, that is the creation of the LSP packets. Right, now the second one I have told you is the flooding process. Flooding also, I have just told you have two stages, the initial stage and the final stage. Initial stage means each node will be knowing only the cost to its neighbors. But once it reaches the final stage, you will be knowing the entire graph. What is the cost to reach each node in that network? Right? Now, flooding of LSPs, what is the exact meaning of that? After a node has prepared an LSP packet, it must be disseminated to all other nodes, not only to its neighbors. You have to just compare it with distance and link state. Distance, they were sharing that information only to the neighbors. But here it is not the case. You are disseminating to all other nodes in the network. That process is called it as flooding, and it is based on some criteria. Right? Now, what are the criteria? The first one is the creating node sends a copy of the LSP out of each interface. Initially, whoever is the starting node, they will keep a copy and they will be sending the copy of this LSP. Now, once a node that receives an LSP, what it will do is it will compare it with the copy. Already they will be having an LSP packet, and if some router is or if a node is sending another LSP packet, they will be just checking it. Okay, now if the newly arrived LSP is older than the one it has found, then you don't want to accept that LSP. You will be simply discarding that packet. But if it is newer one, you have to remove the old one and keep the new one. Right? So, and that copy will be sending to others. Okay, so that is the process of flooding. Flooding means once a node is receiving an LSP packet, it will be disseminated to all other nodes. Okay. Now, the third one is very important. That is called it as the formation of shortest path tree. And you can call it as the Dijkstra's algorithm. Okay, so once all the LSP packet, each node, once it receives an LSP packet, what you have to do is you have to find the shortest path tree. Now, what is a tree is? Tree is nothing but it is a graph of nodes and links. You will be having many nodes and many links. Out of that many nodes, one node you have to keep it as your root node. Okay, now all other nodes can be reached from the root node only through one single route. Now, the shortest path tree is a tree in which the path between the root and every other node is the shortest. Okay, so you will be having a network. You will be finding the weighted graph of all the network. Now you will be considering one as your source node or the root node, and you have to find what is the distance to all other nodes from the root node, such that you will be following the shortest path. Okay, now the algorithm, how it will works is you will be dividing it into two sets. One is you will be having a tentative list and the other one is the permanent list. Okay, now it finds the neighbors of a current node, makes them tentative. Now, what is the process here? It is initially you will be creating one root node. You will be having a tentative list and a permanent list. Now you will be finding the neighbors of the current node and you will be putting it in the tentative list. You will examine all that thing, and if you will have a criteria there, if they pass that criteria, you will make that particular node as the permanent node. So this is the actually how the Dijkstra's algorithm works. You will have two lists or two sets. One is tentative and the other one is the permanent list. So initially all will be putting it in the tentative list. Now they have to pass some criteria, and if that is they are passing it, you will be making each node as the permanent one. Right? Now this is the flow chart of the Dijkstra's algorithm. You just remember that sometimes it may be asked. So initially you will be having a root node setting. You have to set a root node. You have to move it into the tentative list. You have to check whether the tentative list is empty. If it is yes, you can stop there. If it is no, you have to find which is the shortest path and move, which is the shortest among them, and you will be moving it into the permanent list. You will be just getting a clear idea once we do a sum based on this. Okay, so what I told is, okay, now what I told is about the link state. I'll just give a summary of what I have told you up to here. So we were discussing about the link state routing algorithm. Link state routing algorithm, instead of sending the updates only to the neighbors, they will be sending its updates to all the nodes that are present in the network. Now, the objective of the link state routing is you have to find the shortest path from a node, from your source node to your destination node. Okay, now you can have two phases here. One is flooding and the other one is the route calculation. Now, flooding means you will have an initial state and you will have a final state. So in the initial state, each node will be knowing the cost to its neighbors only. But in the final state, you will be knowing about the entire graph. Right? Now, phase 2 is nothing but the route calculation. So route calculation is each node, what they will do is they will make use of the Dijkstra's algorithm in order to calculate the optimal route. Okay, so now how does it work? Now we will be just seeing with an example. You have to listen it. See, many methods are there to solve the Dijkstra's algorithm. I'm just telling about an easy method. Yeah, many methods are there. So in textbook, you will be having one method, and I have just referred many other textbook, and they have also referred many other methods also. So whichever is convenient, this method is also feels easy for you people to understand it. Okay. Now, assume. So this is my network. What I'm doing is I am going to find the shortest path. Okay, I will be considering one source node and what is the distance from the root node to all other nodes such that the path is minimum one. Okay, now consider the network. So you have the nodes A, B, C, D. One second. You have the nodes A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Okay, now initially what I will be doing is I will be writing all the nodes here. Okay, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now, out of these nodes, I will be making one as my source node. Right? So what you can call it as the root node. So what I will be doing is I will be considering A as my root node. So the cost will be equal to 0. I have just written it. Now what I have to do is what I'm thinking is I don't know the cost to any other nodes. So what I will do is I will mark everything it as infinity. So my root node is A. I have the distance cost will be equal to 0, and all other nodes initially what I'm doing is I am making it as infinity. Right? Now, out of these values, I have to find which is the smallest one. Okay, so you have to find the I have just written it as 0, infinity, infinity, etc. So what I'm doing is out of all these nodes, you have to find the minimum value and you have to make it as final value. So if you are looking into this, you have the minimum value of A is equal to 0. So what I will do is I will just fix it A is equal to 0 as my final value. And I will just cancel out this A. So the meaning is you don't need to consider A again. Right? Now, next step is I have to just check who are my neighbors to A. So neighbors to A it is B and D. So the cost will be equal to 2 and D, the cost will be equal to 3. Understanding? I have found out which is the minimum value. I have made it finalized. So that is no need to consider that finalized value again. Okay, now adjacent nodes, I have just checked it. Now the adjacent nodes to A are B and D. Now what I'll be doing, I'll be writing the cost of that. Now out of the cost, what I have written, I have to find which is the minimum value. Now which is the minimum value out of 2 and 3? Yes? 2. So what I'm doing is, so the 2 is minimum. So what I'll doing is I will make that as my final value. So B is equal to 2 and I will just finalize. I don't want to consider B again, right? So B is equal to 2. I have just finalized it, right? Now what is the next step is I have to find who are the adjacent nodes to B. Now you can see it in the network. The adjacent nodes are C and E. Okay, now C initial value was infinity and E also the initial value was infinity, right? Now, what I have to do is see from the root node only, I have to calculate the weight. Okay, so if I want to reach C from my root node, I have already the distance from A to B will be equal to 2 and from B to C, the cost is equal to 5. So totally what will be the cost? This will be equal to 7. Right? So directly B to B and I am at present my node B. I want to find out who are my adjacent nodes. Adjacent nodes are C and E. I want to find what is the total distance from my root node. So initially B is equal to 2 here. So that 2 plus 5 you have to do it, that is equal to 7. Okay, so now next neighbor node is E. Now what is the cost of this E? Initially it was infinity. So the cost will be 2 plus 4, which will be equal to 6. Right? Now what I have to do is I have to check which are the least values among this. right? 2 is already 2, no need to consider because already it is B is finished. Now out of these 7, 3 and 6, which is the minimum value is, you can find out 3 is the minimum. So what I'll do is I will make D3 as my permanent value. D3 I will be finalizing. I'm just cancelling it by D. Okay, now what I have to do, I have to find who are my adjacent nodes to D. Now the adjacent nodes to D are E and A, right? E and A. Now already A is considered, so you don't need to consider it again. It is finalized. A's value is finalized, so no need to consider that. Now you have to check it for E. Now E, the distance will be 3 plus 5, which will be equal to 8. But you have to find out, originally E value was 6, but now you are getting E value as 8. So what is the thing is, you have to write the minimum cost only. So 6 and 8, already 6 is the minimum value, so no need to consider that 8 value. So in this step, you are not getting any updates. So you have not having any update, right? The handwriting is, I'll just try it because in the PowerPoint older version I'm having, I don't have that pen option. So bear with me for today's class. Okay, so D is equal to 3. I have just finalized. Up to here, understood? Yes or no?
Yes, Miss.
Yes. Okay. So I was at D. I have found out who are the neighbors of D. I have found out E and A are the neighbors. A is already finished, so no need to assume it, right? Now E, I have to find the total distance is 3 plus 5, which will be equal to 8. But already the value of E will be 6. That is lesser than 8. So you don't want to consider that 8 again. You should assume the minimum value. So what I have done is 6, I am taking it. So what is now the final value? E is equal to 6. Now out of how many values? 7 and 6 is there, right? All these 2 is crossed, 3 is crossed. Now you have the leftover one, 7 and 6. Now out of that, 6 is the minimum value. So I'll be just finalizing E is equal to 6 and I will just cancel it. Right? Now I am at E node. E is my permanent node. Now I have to find who are my adjacent nodes. Adjacent nodes are, you are having F and you are having B. Already B is finalized, so no need to consider it again. Now your cost neighbor node is F. Now what is the cost will be equal to 2. So again 6 plus 2, which will be equal to 8. So near to F, you have to write it as 8. Right? Understanding? You are finding the neighbor nodes of E. It is F and B. F, the total distance from your source node will be equal to 8, and B is already considered or already finalized, so no need to consider it again, right? So you have just written it 8, right? Now which are the leftover values in that? 2 is considered, 3 is considered, 6 is considered. Now you are having 7 and 8. Now which is the minimum value there? 7. So what I'll do, I will make this node set C is equal to 7 as my permanent value, and I will just cancel this C. Okay, now I am at C, right? Now, which are my neighboring nodes? Neighboring nodes are, I am having G and F, right? So G and F I have found out. Now, what is the cost to G? G initial value is infinity, so I have to write some value, right? So the cost will be equal to 7 plus 3, which will be equal to 10. So already it is infinity, so I have to just write the minimum value of that. So I have just written it as 10. Now what is the distance from C to F? C to F, you have 4 plus 7, 11 you are getting, but already C to F, the already 8 value is there, which is minimum 8 or 11. 8 is minimum. So 11, you don't want to consider it. Understanding? I am at node C. I want to find who are my adjacent nodes. Adjacent nodes are G and F. G initial value was infinity. So I have a value, got it as 7 plus 3, which is equal to 10. So I have written it. Now when I consider this node F, the distance from C to F will be, 4, and from the source node, it will be 7 plus 4, which will be equal to 11. But already the value of F will be equal to 8. Okay, now which is the lesser value? 8 is the lesser value. So no need to consider write that 11 there. Okay, no updation is required in the table. Right, now what you have to do, now what is remaining actually, you are having 8 and 10. Now which is the shortest value? It is 8. So what I'll do, f is equal to 8, I will just make it as finalized. F is equal to 8 and I'll just cancel f. Okay, now I have to find who are my neighbors to f. Now who are my neighbors to f? I have G and C. Right, now what is the distance? This is equal to 1. F to G, the distance is 1, but from my source node, this will be equal to 8. So 8 plus 1, you are having 9. Now, already the value of G will be equal to 10. But I am getting a value lesser than that, so I have to consider it. So the value will be equal to 9. Right? If the value is more, you don't have to consider. If the value is less, you have to update it in your routing table. Right? Now, C is the next neighbor. Already C we have finalized, so no need to write it. Okay, now out of this only 9 and 10, you are having the least value, which will be equal to G is equal to 9. So what I have obtained is, so these values, so what I have obtained in this is very, very important. The meaning is I have a source node A or the root node A. From A to B, the shortest path is equal to 2. The cost is equal to 2. I can reach node C with a distance of 3. I can reach E with a distance of 6. And I can reach C with a distance of 7. I can reach F with a distance of 8. And I can reach G with a distance of 9. Okay, so this is the shortest path from your source node to G. You are getting the shortest path. You can see it in the diagram also. If you want to reach from A to G, you can have many paths here. And out of those paths, I have just found out this A to B, B to D, D to E, E to F, and G. I have just reached it. Okay, so the least cost tree for node A, I have constructed it. Now the corresponding values or the cost are 0, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now if you add up all these costs, that is 0 plus 2 plus 3 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9, what you will be getting some value. And that is the total cost in order to reach from your root node to your destination node or the whole nodes in that network. Okay, now with this idea, you have to create your routing table. Now routing table, I know you have 3 fields, that is the destination, the cost, and the next hop. You have to just write you have to write who are the who are the nodes in that table. You can just write it as A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You can write it. You can write the cost, what you are getting in this line. Okay, you have written, and you have to write the next hop also. So next hop, usually it covers through B only, which is the shortest path. So the next hop for 2 to 3 values, you will be getting the next hop it as equal to 3. So this is how you have to create your routing table. Okay, understood how the link state algorithm works. Very, very important. I will be giving you two sums to solve it. So when you come for the next class, you just try it. If you are getting wrong also, no problem, but try it, what idea you have got from this class. Okay, so let me explain it once more. This is your network. What I have done is, initially, I have written all the nodes here. Right, now assume I have assumed 1 as my root node or the source node, and the value will be equal to 0. And initially I'm assuming that all the nodes, the values of all the nodes will be equal to infinity. So I will just write it as infinity. Now out of these values, which is the minimum value I have taken? So A is equal to A is 0. So that A, I have to cancel it out, and this is the finalized value. Now I have to find out who are the neighbors of A. Neighbors of A are B and D. Corresponding values I have just written. You have to find out which is minimum among this and make it as permanent. Okay, so here minimum B is equal to 2. So I have made it permanent, and I am cancelling this B. Now I have to find who are the neighbors to B. C and E are the neighbors. But once you write the cost, you have to add it with your root node. From A to B, the distance will be equal to 2, and that 2 you have to add it with the remaining cost to the next neighbor. Okay, so you are having 7 and 6 here. Now these three values I have not considered. Out of this, the minimum one is 3, so I have made it as permanent. Now again, D I have considered. You have to check whether you have to update your routing table. Now updation happens when you are getting a value which is shorter than the previous one. If already you have a neighbor like C, in the table, if the value is lesser, you have to consider that. If the value is greater, you don't want to do it anything. Okay. Now, similarly, you have to proceed for all the nodes, and finally, all the nodes. This you can call it as the tentative list. Actually, this one. Now you are making it as in the permanent list. The idea is the tentative list should be empty, and all the nodes should become in a permanent list. Okay, and that is the least cost path or the tree for node A. Similarly, you can find it for node B. Sometimes the question they will be telling B, assume it as the source node, and your destination is this. You have to find the shortest path. Okay, so this is how the algorithm works. Okay. Now, you can just take this problem as a homework. This one you take. That is little, it is difficult for you to copy it. This two problems, you just consider it and give me the answer in the next class. All of you take down this. Absent Neeraj, Rankit, Vaishna. Okay, taking it down. Now I want to tell you one thing. If you have any problem related with computer communication, you can directly talk to me. Okay. I understand your problem, because what is the thing is, writing an assignment, copying it and writing it is of no use. I don't know how many of you are taking it seriously and writing it. But while studying one question and updating it is very, very important in this situation, actually. I cannot judge you. See, answers also, I don't know how you people are writing it and submitting it. Few are voluntary, like confidently you are writing the answers, but few are not. So that is the thing that I have made a unit test yesterday. So writing assignment and unit test, it is the discretion of the staff. And you are not writing all the 6 questions or the 12 questions what I have given. I've just told only one question, that you study it and write it. That is the thing. So if you are feeling any difficulty based on that, directly talk to me. Okay. You have a class representative. Through your class representative, you can talk, or you have a staff advisor. Through her also, you can talk to me. Right? So see, if you are if you are not cooperating with me, then I will be feeling some difficulty in that. Okay. Anyway, leave it all the thing. So tomorrow, Friday, you will be having a Viva questions based on the module 3. So just study based on the thing. Okay, the concepts, what all the assignment questions, you just refresh it and come for the Viva. Not the whole period will be the Viva. I'll be just taking it in the middle because I have to continue my class also. Okay. Taking it down or not? It is for your betterment only, I told. You don't think it as a burden for you. Shruti? Finished taking?
Yes, miss.
Yes. You have completed it? All of you? Answer me.
Yes, miss.
Have you taken the 2
Yes.
questions?
Yes.
Yes. Now Friday we will be having 2 hours, so that I'll be just telling what are the final table for A. You just consider one source node. That is enough. You don't want to consider all the networks. Let A be the root node and G your destination. And here also this A, and what value is this? Is A, B, C, G, H, D. I think so. Yeah, D. So assume understood how the linked state algorithm works. You have many methods, whichever, I mean, I felt this as the easiest method, so I am just explaining it. If you are referring your other textbooks, you will be getting a lot of solutions to do. In 4000, they have just written it permanent list, tentative list. There you will be having a confusion how to assume it as in the permanent list and the tentative list, and also this method is, I felt it as easy, so I just told it. Right? So complete that thing and come back for the next class. Okay. Thank you. I think the other stuff, yeah, she has joined. So thank you and prepare for the Viva also.